Welcome to Dance to Heal. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how dance and movement can bring healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that movement was vital to my recovery. I created Dance to Heal Wellness and also authored the best-selling book, Outside in Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new techniques to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. Krys Pappius is a world traveler, a hiker, a nature lover, and a fitness enthusiast. After a near-death experience in 2003, Krys embarked on a journey of self-discovery. As an empowerment coach, Krys shares with women who feel stuck and unfulfilled ways to find meaning, fulfillment, and joy in living. So you are all in for such a special treat. Krys, welcome.
Thank you, Jenny. I love spending time with you. I don't care what the circumstances are. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, audience members, I just have to clarify something. Krys is not someone that I had the pleasure of approaching to interview on this podcast. I actually have a really great story that I want to share with you about Krys because back in 2022, in the middle of the Panini lockdown, I happened on this online course, and Krys, you can feel my pain with this, where they wouldn't give us any bloody recordings of the event. So I had to register and be there live. I mean, what? What, are you kidding me? I had to be there live for hours. And I just remember this really, because you had shorter hair back then. You've got a bob now.
Yeah.
This very intriguing, okay, dare I say it, white lady that just, there was something emanating from you that drew me in to the point, folks. Krys had been really, you've been so active in the chat, right? I'm not going to buy this. I have no money. I'm not going to buy this. And it's just like, I'm all in. And I was like, well, if Krys is all in, I'm all in. So I signed up for this 5-digit coaching program because I was going to go to Vegas to meet you live, Krys. This poor woman was slowly backing away from me the first time we met because I was like, oh my God, it's so exciting to meet you, Krys. And you were like, okay, then.
Okay. And also, it was because probably this was pre-dynamic life where I was very standoffish. I suspect that I'm not quite the same person you met that first day because
There's
we went
something,
through an event together.
we did a whole breakthrough event. And I I do want to say something about this is really important, folks. Krys is a very special soul. So she doesn't, you don't always see your value, Krys, because you're so used to being a server, like a taking care of people. So you forget, and we have to just remind you about your gifts. We went through this breakthrough together. It didn't really change who you were. It just kind of cracked you open so we could see you. You let yourself shine through.
Absolutely true. And I think that applies to so many of the people that we cross paths with day to day. It's not that we have to change who we are. We need to we would serve ourselves and make the most out of life if we would allow who we really are to emerge from all the armor and the protection that we have put in place because of whatever life experiences we've had that really were not the most pleasant experiences.
Right, right. It's like life gets lifey, doesn't it, Krys?
Oh, life gets life. Life comes, for me, it was a whisper and a tap on the shoulder, and then life came with a 2x4 and knocked socks off me. And really, it was my wake-up call. It was not a pleasant experience. And with hindsight, I will honestly say that 2x4 was the greatest gift the universe could have given me.
Yes, yes. And so tell us now what is, because folks, when Krys is not hiking some giant mountain or doing some other life adventure, well, actually, you you do take your clients on these trips. However, before we get to that point, what is your current focus if someone says, "Oh, I want to work with Krys"?
So if you want to put a label on me, I am an empowerment coach for women. But that's a label. What do I really do? What I really do is I work with women who have achieved material success. You know, they had this list of things they wanted to accomplish in life. They've got their career. They've put in the blood, sweat, and tears to become successful in the way they thought was important in their career, only to find that success is empty, that it hasn't brought the material success, the outward success has not brought them the feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction and joy that they had hoped for. And in fact, very often they've lost themselves in their careers. And what I do is I help them reconnect to their spark, to that thing in them that just lights them up so that they can create a life for themselves and move forward. A life that they love, a life that's fun, that's interesting, that is fulfilling, one that gets them excited to get up every morning.
Ooh, I
That's
love that.
Mhm.
I love that. Now, before you were climbing mountains, because I know that's really, folks, you got to find her. Krys Pappius, Pappius. You've got to look for her social media. Your social, I just love it. At any given day, Krys is broadcasting from some mountaintop. It's blizzarding here, but I think I'm gonna take this mountain anyways. We'll see you on the other side. And
Let's not exaggerate.
that's what
Not
it feels
exaggerate.
like, though.
I
It's so
love high
adventurous.
mountains. I love high mountains. Have I been in a high? Well, actually, I have been caught in a whiteout. That's
Yes, yes, you have. She's like, no, that's an exaggeration. I'm like, no, it's not. That's
it
a
wasn't
point, right?
planned. Okay, it was unplanned.
Exactly. You're like, I'm in a whiteout. Hmm.
And what was also actually good about those situations was, as in life, I was prepared.
Yeah.
I had the knowledge, the skills, and the equipment I needed to be safe when life threw yet another curveball.
Mm-hmm.
That's what life is not. I don't believe in unicorns and rainbows. Life is not easy. Life is a challenge, and I think that's what life is about. You can enjoy life and have fun in life and be fulfilled in life no matter what's going on around you. If you are truly connected to who you are at your core, where you're connected to your purpose, and when you have all the skills and abilities that are available to you to learn to navigate those challenging times with ease, with grounding, and with confidence.
I love that. Here's the thing, though, because I'm always gonna have a question asked of this because people look at my baby face, Asian face, and go, What do you know about life?" And then I have to tell them, "Well, I've been married over 30 years. I've homeschooled twins, fraternal twins, who I had through IVF from elite sports. They're junior Olympians through college. I'm a blah blah blah." And so I guess I want you to explain to everybody here, like, what skills do you bring to coaching to the table?
Well, I'll say that I am a former police officer and I was good at my job, which means I'm good. I'm a good investigator. I'm curious. I don't let you get away with the superficial, and I do it with kid gloves. I listen. I can put myself in your shoes and see the world through your perspective without getting caught in your drama. I understand trauma.
Mhm.
I'm a survivor of sexual assault, physical assault. I'm a survivor of law enforcement. Um,
So-
I've dealt with critical incidents. I've had my own critical incidents in law enforcement. I've had near-death experience, um, grief, sadness, lack of confidence, burnout. I get all that because I've been on that side of the line. I'm also now on this side of the line, trained as a life coach in a model that I really gravitated towards because it made it very clear that I am not the expert in you. I may have skills and tools and gifts that help me guide you, but ultimately it's a model that says you're the expert on you. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. And I am really good at getting to your heart.
I love that. I love that because oftentimes I'm in a coaching program where they talk about how people, it's normal to be skeptical when we go, oh, you coach, well, what does that mean? Because there are a lot of people who go through some lifey event and they go, well, I went through it, so I should be able to help someone through it, and they don't understand the prep work to shift from someone experiencing it to someone who can help someone else go through it. Like as a dance instructor, when I was learning to teach, just because I was a student and I had performed didn't mean that I did not have to go through countless pedagogy teaching courses that taught you how to teach, similar to your referencing that life coaching program that you did. And not for nothing, I really do want to explain, folks, that for those of you who are listening in on the audio, please check out the YouTube, because you look at Krys and she's a sweet, kind of smiley person, and then you meet her, and how tall are you, Krys?
5'9".
She's 5'9", right? She carries herself like you're 7 feet freaking tall, just so you know. It's not that she's towering over you. It's just this very groundedness, because you've seen life, and you really have seen life at its worst, and you still see hope in it. That's, for me, what is so edifying, and why I followed you, like from Salt Lake City on some random YouTube training to Vegas, where we had to be on ropes courses. Folks, we were on ropes courses, like way up, so high up in the air. How many feet were we up in the air? I don't know. To you, it was kids' play. To me, it was really high. Where were we? Like,
We
perump.
were 30 to 40 feet. And Jenny, in many circumstances, I'm afraid of heights. When I'm on a ropes course and there is really nothing but a rope holding me up on the rope, believe me, I was terrified. And that to me was such a fantastic experience. Oh my gosh. That was, years ago. So I'm a former scuba diver, and for a few years I was involved in the wheelchair sports scuba diving club, where as able-bodied divers, we would take disabled divers, anything from paralysis to amputees, whatever. We would take them into the water, one on either side, and we would help them experience the water. And there was one member in the group who he was also a skydiver. Like, he was so active. And I asked him once, and I've never forgotten this. I said, "Why do you skydive?" And what he said to me, and this is a quote: "Life in a wheelchair scared me so much that I had to face my worst fears. Because I knew if I faced these fears, I could face anything else." And I think that ropes course that we were on reminded me that facing your fears and going through your fears, and feel the fear and do it anyway. It's not just a cliche, it's the truth. Um, and really, I think that is the, the foundational piece of my coaching is, yes, my clients are afraid. We are all hardwired to resist change. So my clients are afraid of change. That's normal. And I help them face the fear and do it anyway in small, tiny steps, so that they can move forward in the direction they want to go. They can experience success. They can see how far they've come and gain the confidence to keep going.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, yep, yep. So it didn't hurt that the safety people were really good eye candy, Krys. I'll admit,
Heard it.
it was
Oh.
almost tempting to fall off just to help them save us. They were giant, strapping, 6 foot tall men, all of them, every one of them.
They were fascinating too. And
Yes.
what really struck me about those guys is, so in law enforcement, I've been in the world of testosterone. I've been there, and I can tell you stories about my experience, which, it's irrelevant here. Um, those guys were ex-military, like they were from testosterone world, and they were kind, they were encouraging. Um, they blew me away. There was a gentleness about them. It is possible to be male and female, have male traits and female traits. They are not mutually exclusive. You can be a strong woman and be gentle. You can be a strong man and be gentle.
Oh, I love that. You gave me
I-
chills. You gave me chills just now, reminding me, actually, So, I mean, like I'm married and I'm not dead, right? So they were really tall, beautiful, 6 feet tall men who were very kind and gentle because we did have a couple of participants that fell off in very awkward positions, and here these beautifully, they were just gifted muscularly and physically and being so gentle and so respectful. And not one word came out of their mouths to have anybody feel they were less than or lacking. It was full on support, even energetically, right, Krys? And honestly, folks, you gotta meet Krys in person because to me, you're kind of the epitome of it because you know, like I kind of wish you had been the cop in my neighborhood growing up, because I think it would have been different. And it's just, and then to bring back to the scuba diving thing, because folks, this is the first time I ever heard that Krys went scuba diving. We're gonna have to dive into more of these things that you kind of blow off about what you do. I did used to volunteer at a camp. It was called Camp Jabberwocky in Martha's Vineyard for children with disabilities. So most of the kids that came they had spina bifida or mostly it's spina bifida limitations because their parents did not know or did not have the funding, really honestly, to bring them to hospitals to do the surgical repairs, right? And or we had a few children who were with other type of things going on. Either way, the counselors, our job was to bring these wonderful children to the beach every day. So we would drag their wheelchairs through the sand or piggyback them on us to get them in the water because those were the few moments they felt free.
And that's what it was. It was the freedom of being neutrally buoyant for the people that I was with, that I dove with. That's what gave them freedom again. Underwater, oddly enough, they were free.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely free because they
Yep.
didn't have to bring their darn wheelchairs with them,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So speaking of scuba diving, what else are you hiding up your sleeve of adventures you've had, Krys? Barring, the being in the whatever, the blue suits and scuba diving and the scuba diving suits.
I was a skydiver.
What? You stop it. You were sky folks. Seriously, she didn't put this in a bio. I didn't know she was a skydiver. Tell me about the skydiving adventures, because that actually scares me to death. Because I would have to get special goggles, right? Because I can't see, and I can't imagine skydiving without my glasses.
This, okay. So, you have to go back many, many years. I was 16 years old and I ended up as a student at McGill University. Folks, don't ever send 16-year-olds to university, but that's another story altogether. So 16 years old, I'm at McGill University in Montreal, and I see Skydiving Club. Oh my gosh, they're doing training for new jumpers. Hey, great. And I really wanted to do this, but I was a minor, so I had to have parental permission. So I went home and my parents said, absolutely not. There is absolutely no way we're giving you. I said, okay, that's fine. You have a choice. You can either give me permission now, or you can worry 2 years, and when I'm 18, I'm going to do it. The choice is yours. The pain now or the pain in 2 years. So they signed. They signed. At the time, the skydiving club at McGill had amazing training. Like this training went on for actually quite a few weeks. And in the student union building, the staircase up to, I think it was 5 flights of stairs, there was a hollow center. And do you know what I mean? Like there was a hollow centered staircase so you could set up all the jump gear off the balconies, harnesses and all that. So it was really, really good training. We had to go there at night. And one night I look up and there's my father. I am so embarrassed. I am a university student and there is my father looking what's going on. Until one of the instructors came to me and said, I've never seen a parent be so engaged that they wanted to come and watch. I was like, okay, I don't have to be embarrassed.
Yeah, good
Go
perspective.
through the training.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm dating myself long ago. A couple of friends of ours and we had no vehicles. We had to hitchhike out of town up to the drop zone. My parents were coming. My father, amateur photographer, he's got his, cameras and all that. And we get to our pre-jump briefing, and out of the trailer comes the number one instructor on crutches with his leg in a cast. Freddie, what happened? Oh, I jumped yesterday. I landed facing north and my toes were facing south. That's just what my parents wanted to hear, right?
Yeah.
So we went up, got in the plane and went up. And according to the jump master, I called for my mother until my chute opened.
Really?
really suave and debonair 16-year-old McGill University student crying for her
Did you need a diaper? Like I would have just
mother.
let go. Like I personally would.
No, I didn't need a diaper, but you're floating down and everything's beautiful and you look down and you're going, oh my gosh, like that ground is coming up. We were in a field, a cow field. So I didn't need a diaper, but there's all the cow patties. You have to make sure you didn't land in one of them. So no, I didn't land on a cow patty. I landed well. Everything was good. I did 12 more jumps. And that was it. I was done.
You did 13 jumps before you were
Correction,
17
11. No, I did 12 total. So I did another 11 jumps. Yep.
in 1 year.
Um, yeah, it was pretty quick. I think probably in less than a year I did that.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you're jumping out of the plane like that, right? Because I've seen when they do the guided one where you're like strapped to the chest of some giant guy similar to the people we're talking about in the ropes courses. And I always watch the landings because I'm so afraid the person strapped is going to break a leg off because they forget to stick their legs up in the air. That's the word. When you're just you, though, how do you land? Because I'm not Mission
Breaking.
Impossible. How do you?
Okay, so you have the parachute and there's the ropes coming down tied onto your harness, but you also have guiding. You're actually in control of the direction of the parachute and how fast it's coming down. So back then we had, I can't remember what they called them. They were just those regular, the old military style round, mushroom style parachutes. Now they have all kinds of fancy dancy things. In any event, you're totally in control. So that actually you're braking as you land. So you're coming down. It's not like you land at whatever, that's been so long. I can't remember what speed you're actually coming down, but you're not landing. You're actually braking just as you hit the ground. So
Oh,
you're in control of your chute.
oh, really?
Yep.
Because I just had this vision, when it's kind of like a plane, but your feet are paddling really quick, trying to like catch the landing.
Well, you have to run because the chute is moving this way, but it's not crashing you down. I think that's a very good question. It's a valid question. It's probably a question I asked myself as I was coming down. Oh, I hope I don't break my leg. But yeah, so you are in control of the chute.
Wow, yeah. I think you should do an event similar to what we did for that event, where you have us jumping out of planes.
Yeah, right. I won't jump out of a plane again. If I'm not going to do it, I can't make somebody
Well,
else
I
do
mean,
it.
it's strapped to one of those big guys.
Oh, I don't even think I would do that. I don't care how cute and how big he is. I don't think I'm going to do that again.
But we just lean back and put our legs up. I mean, I would need a diaper, and some type of goggles
Yeah.
glued to my face because I'm blind without my glasses. But no.
No. Well, there's something going on around on Facebook. A woman, now I can't remember, is she 102? I think she's 102, and she just completed her, I think she's 100, and she's done a jump on every birthday for the last God knows how many years. But she said this is going to be her last one. But she's way, way, way up there in years. She's hilarious.
And she doesn't by herself, no big
Oh no,
strapping
she's
guy.
tandem and she does it. She fundraises every birthday.
Okay, she's okay. Well, I would do that if I could just guarantee my legs wouldn't break off. That's my biggest worry. So that alone will keep me from doing it. All right, now are you bringing any guests with you on hiking in the future?
There's a lot of thoughts in my head, a lot of discussions going on. What I would like to do is yes, I would love to take women on an adventure. The challenge where I live is it would really be sad if I got women up here to go out on an adventure and the weather wasn't cooperative. I can go out in the rain and the snow. I've got all the equipment, but I'm not sure that. So the other thing I'm looking at right now is possibly doing something like the Galapagos Islands. So why am I doing this? I want to take women out of the office. I want them to go out and experience me time on an adventure. An adventure is anything that's out of the ordinary. Adventure doesn't mean climbing mountains. An adventure can be taking a new dance class. That's an adventure because it's doing something new, something that's going to take you out of your norm. I happen to believe in physical activity. I'm very active. I train in CrossFit, I swim, and of course, as you mentioned, I hike. And I believe that together, the nature and activity is magical when it comes to connecting with who you are. There's just something about the energy if you stop to smell the flowers. There's two kinds of hikers. There's those who just want to make it to the top, bag a peak, and come home. And that's not me. I'm someone who goes, I'm with my camera, I'm stopping, I'm getting really excited when I see a new little worm or a new little flower. I don't even care if I don't get to the summit. I can have a fantastic nature experience without reaching the summit. Reaching the summit is, of course, a bonus, but that does not make or break my adventure.
This is an excellent point. So audience members who are watching and listening to this, this is actually a message for you right now with what Krys just said. If you're someone who has trouble enjoying the journey, you've got to look up Krys and do a session with her. If you're someone who needs validation that it's okay to smell the flowers and look at the new worm that you just found along the trail path, Krys is someone you want to hook up with just so she can continue flaming that flame within you that needs that for healing. I remember how important it was for me to ground in nature right before I started chemotherapy. And they had said during cancer treatment, it's vital that you are constantly connecting to nature throughout it, before, during, and after the treatment. And so what you said just completely resonated with me. Folks, you can find Krys at her website, and I'm going to give you a couple ways to connect with her. Now, she has an amazing quiz on her website. The website itself is KrysPappius.com. Excuse me, negate that, start over. Oh my gosh, KRYS, and then her last name is PAPPIUS.com. When you click on that, again, KYRS, Krys.
No.
KYR. Goodness. Oh my
Hey,
God.
you
Okay,
want me to
wait.
say it? Why don't I say it?
Why don't you say it, Krys? Go ahead.
It's KrysPappius.com. KRYSPAPPIUS.com.
Perfect. When you go there, on the very top of her website will be the quiz. When you click that quiz, it is the perfect way to get additional help from Krys. Okay,
I'd
that
like to
is,
and let me put it in
go ahead.
context.
Yep.
Okay, so on my journey from burnt out, lost, not knowing who I was, to really creating the life I love, I discovered that the three things had to happen. I had to become really clear on who I was. That was number one. What was important to me? What did I value? What was my purpose, strengths, weaknesses? What were my emotional triggers? And I had to learn how to manage my emotions in any circumstance, because our behaviors are driven by our emotions. If you can manage your emotions, you manage your behaviors, you manage your results. So that was the first piece of the formula. The second piece of the formula is to have a really clear vision of what it is you want in life. Very often I hear people say, oh, just do it. You don't like your job, just do it and leave. The fact is, if you run away from something, you have no guarantee that where you're going is going to be any better. And in fact, it could be worse. But when you have a clear vision of what you want out of your life, and when it is when it honors who you are at your core, you have an emotional attachment to that vision that keeps you going when things get rough. And the third piece is you have to take action. If I want a cup of coffee, I have to get up from my desk and go and make a cup of coffee. No action, your vision remains a dream. So it's you, your vision, and your action. What the quiz does is it will you'll go through a series of 15 questions. And at the end of it, you're going to get a score out of 10 for you, your vision, and your actions. A score out of 10, you will then get a report that helps you interpret those results. So why would you want to do that? Because at the end of the day, you will know where to focus your time, your energy, your money, all your personal resources. to get yourself moving to where you want to go in life, or even getting clarity on where you want to go in life. But that's what you're going to get from the quiz. It'll tell you where to focus your attention.
And I'm not kidding you, that just even that is worth thousands of dollars, folks, that she is offering this to you. So make sure you take advantage of that quiz. And as with my other guests, sometimes there's something that's preventing you from doing that. And I'm going to ask you to go to danceandheal.com. That offers you stretching and some somatic stretches to get you moving and into the direction of doing the quiz. We're here because we're part of the healing, folks. Okay? Our whole world has gone through this global pandemic. And it is vital we get the whole world healing as quickly as possible so we can continue to make a change in everyone's lives. Krys, thank you so much for coming. We're going to have you come back. We'll have to do a part 2, okay?
Sounds great to me, Jenny. Anytime I get with you, that's privilege.
All right, folks, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to Dance to Heal with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of recovery through movement and learn more ways that you can move your body. To work with me and continue your journey, visit OutsideInRecovery.com. Are you ready to move?